Welcome to your doom. Shut it and get over here. Massive uppercut!
Hello and welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. Today I'm reviewing the film Now You See Me 2. So the film Now You See Me 2 is the sequel to the first one that came out a few years ago. It follows the events of the first film. The film starts off 30 years ago. There's like a televised magic show happening, and it goes wrong. It's a David Blaine style stunt which goes wrong. This is overseen by a young Dylan Rhodes, who the character Matt Ruffalo plays in the first one. So he oversees this on, he's actually there as the filming and what have you. So it cuts to present day. Dylan Rhodes is now an FBI agent. I say he follows on from he knows of the Four Horsemen from the first one. Events of the first one. If you haven't seen the first one, watch this. Watch that one first. It makes more sense. Anyhow, he's an FBI agent, and she feels there's going to be a re-emergence of the Four Horsemen, and he's got his methods and his whys and wherefores and what have you. And the Four Horsemen do reappear. They come back and they hijack a show. They do a thing, and they get kidnapped. The Four Horsemen, and the Four Horsemen are then taken to this place where tech genius enlists them into a kind of heist. They have to steal a thing for him. No, I like the first Now You See Me film. I felt it was really good. Like the chemistry between the Four Horsemen themselves and the people around it. There's a big cast, big names, and so on. It's a little bit silly, I suppose, but the whole I like the way they were seeing one step ahead of everyone else, and they had the big reveals and all the rest of it. There's lots of things. The filmmaking does play off this quite well in the first one, and yeah, I'm fascinated with magic myself. Okay, so most of the cast returned for the second one. We've got Jesse Eisenberg, we've got Mark Ruffalo, as explained before, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, we've got Michael Caine, and we've got Morgan Freeman. We haven't got Isla Fisher back. We've got Lizzy Caplan playing Lula. So what surprised me in a nice way is that they expanded upon the Dylan Rhodes character. He has got more to do in this film. Like I say, the kind of prelogue of the film, where it shows his televised magic trick, it establishes his relationship with a certain character, and as he's got to present day, you get to see more of his interaction with the Four Horsemen and his relationships with them. He's got more to do in this film, more kind of emotional involvement. So when we cut to present day, and Dylan Rhodes is explaining to the agents, other people and whatever, his theories for why he thinks the Four Horsemen are going to make an reappearance. The way he does it, I was thinking at the time, is it seriously going down this route? He was saying, look at this, and it's more like, no, it's a bit too daft. And I thought, is this now this film that's established what it's established in the first film? Is the tone of it going right to the just absurdity? But I didn't. It's I'm not going to ruin it for you. It's a spoiler free. There might be method in his madness, why he says what he says. You have to watch the film, and there's a lot of the first film. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, lots of chicanery kind of thing with certain characters and certain set pieces and whatever. If you like the first one and you got the rhythm of it and whatever, you'd like this film, I believe. So, but initially when you first watch it, there's a lot of chicanery, all the rest of it too. That kind of wrong-footed, because I was wrong-footed a few times in this film, which is good. At the end, explain it all and whatever, and leaves things hanging. I mean, not enough to think, no, this it don't make any sense. This. So to support my feeling that it was going to be a bit silly, after the Dylan Rhodes little scenes, explaining certain things, was the introduction of Jesse Eisenberg in this film. He's in the first one. So he's on his way. He starts off. He's on his way to this location. He finds it, and he starts off. Begins talking to this like disembodied voice in this empty room, and it's like explaining stuff to him, like telling him what to do and all the rest of it, and he's responding back. And it just struck me as like, I was okay with it, but I'm thinking, if other people who hadn't seen the first one and wasn't aware of certain things within the first one, and not kind of like up to speed with how they do things and whatever in these films, it reminded me of, like, say, Nightmare, the old TV show on ITV years ago, when you're taking instructions by people you can't see and whatever. Yeah. So the new characters in this film, you got Lizzy Caplan. She's Lula. She I like her a lot in this film. She brings a lot of energy. She's also a magician, and she's wants to join the Four Horsemen and all the rest of it. And the introduction of her character into the film, it's very keeping in the style of how they do things. A lot of misdirection and whatever. Let's say the way they film certain things and whatever. It's kind of like taking you one day, then kind of wrong footing you, and she does a lot of that in this film. So she's very good in this film. Another new character, Walter, played by Daniel Radcliffe. He's the tech genius of the thing. He's okay. There's when they meet Walter, like I say, the story is they get kidnapped and they get taken to this place, where Walter is. And there's like his first scene, I think, was about, I weren't counting, but it was about 5-10 minutes long. They all sat down talking. He's explaining who he is, what he wants, why he wants them to do certain thing, steal this thing, and all the rest of it. And it's like, I think in the whole film, this is the one scene they just sit down and talk. There's a lot of story, a lot of exposition to get away with. Okay, so this film has a lot more plot, a lot more things going on than the first one. I think come from the school of like bigger and better and all the rest of it for the sequel, which is fine. I personally didn't get really confused with this film. What with all the wrong footing and chicanery and all the like crosses, double crosses, and who this Walter really is and so on. But I didn't have a problem with finding out as I went along and whatever, and how they did this thing. Let's say like Walter, is first scene with the Four Horsemen and whatever. That's the one scene that the movie stops. But all in all, no, I like this film a lot. The chemistry's still there. The magic, by and large, is decent. It's like how the fuck did they do that like they were in the first one? The probably when they get to the ender, when they get to the scenes like leading up to the end of whatever, some of the magic tricks, while impressive, maybe because they didn't explain all the magic tricks, maybe I was thinking, well, that's impossible, to do what they did. There's certain tricks, but again, that's magic himself. The trick is just fool the audience and make the audience think, how did they do that? But make that of that as you will. So if you like the first one with the magic and whatever, you like this one, there's enough going on in there. So yeah, the answer with this film, with everything, I say, there is one scene when they come to steal this thing for Walter. They have to break it in this high security such as place, and basically there's like a montage beforehand where they each practice how to do card tricks, throwing cards and all the rest of it. The little thing, they're practicing all this. So when they come to this scene when they have to steal this thing, but they use a playing card to like hide this thing, and they're being monitored, they're being like patted down and stuff, make sure they got nothing on them that can steal them of it. So there's a lot of like to and fro between them throwing this card with this device thing attached to it. I don't want to ruin it for you, spoil it for you, but I just felt it was this went on for too long. It's like entertaining and probably to be honest maybe a bit too bullshit. But it was entertaining. But in real life, if they wanted to steal this thing, they could have easily done without the 10-minute kind of rigmarole of what they were doing. You see this cash down the sleeves and all that kind of thing, and I just thought, well, it's a bit overkill, this. So I enjoyed this movie. It entertained me. It kept me guessing through. I like the first one. So maybe maybe there is a Scooby-Doo-esque kind of like bit, element to this film when, at the end where they say, oh, we fooled you by doing this and this, and it cuts to a flashback. May not necessarily see earlier on in the film. Some bits you do, some bits you don't, and they explain, well, like when you did this, we were busy doing that, and all the rest of it, like revealing someone, like the Penn and Teller kind of like magicians, just debunking, not debunking, but demystifying, I guess, the trick, for the audience to understand how they did what they did. Now, some people just might like the mystery, like they don't know how they did it, but they did, kind of thing. It's just, I suppose I liked it because it's like the filmmakers weren't, the writers and whatever, weren't just saying, yeah, this happened just because. The magicians, fuck it. We don't need any more explanation than that. They're just magicians. Just deal with it, and they can do this shit. But no, all in all, I enjoyed like the first one. Whether I don't know if I like it more than the first one or less, but it's certainly, obviously it's a companion piece. It's not. It fits well, as it should do. So them's my opinions. What's yours? And yours, and everyone else's. Like, subscribe, comment down below. I'm talking about a rude bit. I'm talking about the comment section. And tell your friends and everything. And in the words of the new Cyrus, send the word.
9, 8, 7, 6,